Hey everyone, thanks for coming to 302 Sobriety. The topic for today that I'm going to speak on is fear and how it affected me and how you could use it for your sobriety. Fear could be dangerous, but it's also good to have. Don't forget, fear is a noun. It means dread, you frighten, you panic, you terror, painful. You get agitated, danger, you sense danger. So that protects you, that fear protects you. It protects you to stay safe, but it also hinders you from progressing, to learn. Your job, which was my job when I first started this journey in sobriety, was I was scared, fearful. I was fearful that I was not going to be part of a group of people that knew me the way I was. I was fearful to stop drinking because I thought it was fun. But I fought against my fear. It's it's one of the strongest feelings we have. As you know, fear is a sound, and the opposite of fear is courage. And you're brave. You have confidence in yourself. You're fearless. You have faith. You have boldness. You attract people through fighting fear. I know there's been plenty of times for myself that I want to be like that guy. You know, nothing bothers him. He conquers whatever he does. I was fear of success. What am I going to do? I was feared that people were going to put me down for doing something that I needed to do for myself. And it took a long time for me to hit rock bottom. I overcame my fear. And I think the best thing that I did was fight fear. It wasn't easy. My anxiety kicked in, but I developed courage. I learned real early in recovery that the less I had, the more I had. I kept looking at life is what I did not have, and I wanted more. I was fearful of not getting what I wanted, not what I needed. That's the key word. What I needed was to stop and think and live a productive life and be selfish for myself. I wasn't doing it for anybody else. I've tried plenty of times. I knew I was in trouble, but I was doing it for the wrong reasons. I was fearful to get into myself, into my vibe, my spirit that I had, that I knew I had. I was a strong person. Slowly progressed, knocking fear down. I still use fear because that's what keeps me safe. And I know what I have to do and stay out of my head and say, oh, it's just fear acting up. I'm just going to go through it again without thinking. You need, like I did, to understand what was I fearful for. I had to pause. My key thing was pausing all the time. Am I fearful? Is my body telling me something that it's dangerous, or is it something I'm making up in my head? And you could tell the difference. If you walk in a rough neighborhood, in a bad neighborhood, if you walk in an alleyway, if you know you're surrounded by danger, your hairs stand up, you get goosebumps, your heart starts pounding. And even though it might be mental or perceived as fear, it still creates the heart pounding, and it creates that I can't do this. And that's how I held myself back. I cannot do this. I can't do this. But at the same time, I couldn't live the way I was living. So what I did was I took a leap of faith, which is courage. It takes courage to make a move. And I'm just going to tell you something like now, in June, I'm going to move. And it's a big deal for me. I live in a big house. I'm by myself. But it's not, I don't know why I'm doing it. I'm happy with myself. What do I use when I come in to my house? I use it most of the time when I sleep, I eat, but most of the time I'm outside. I'm wasting my time. Just being here, occupying a huge space. All the stuff that I collected in my life, that I said, oh, I want this, and I stored it, or I put it up for display for other people to see, to keep up with the Joneses, because I was afraid I wasn't going to be accepted. But once I started learning to accept myself for who I am, and this is the way I am, I'm happier. I don't have to compete with somebody else. The only one I have to compete is myself to be better. That's all right. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes the old ways pops up and the fear pops up at the same time. And that's giving me a signal, and I pay attention to it because I don't want to go back there. I don't want to go back to the way I was. And it keeps me focused on my goal. And my goal is to think before I act. Fear is a feeling. Feelings go away. You focus on something else, that feeling goes away. Happiness is a feeling, but it comes from within inside. I was looking for happiness outside. I was looking for approval from anybody, anything outside. But I wasn't looking in my heart what I wanted, what makes me happy. You might not like, you might say, hey, this guy's boring. Rightfully so. But you know something? I don't care. I'm happy. I'm happy communicating this way. I don't have the bells and whistles on YouTube. I don't have to make it exciting. I don't have that. This is the way and who I am. I try to commit and communicate to the way I feel, and hopefully you could relate to the fears, even speaking right here in the camera. I'm speaking to you guys. I don't care what I look like. I brush my hair. I come out in my t-shirt. You know, I'm not going to dress up. I'm not dressing up for you because it's not the messenger. It's the message that's being given. If you conquer fear, and this is how it works in sobriety. For me, this is how it works. I can't talk about you, but you can relate, and you got to be true to yourself. You got to admit to a lot of things that you were afraid, fearful to admit to yourself. I was fooling no one but myself. I was afraid to cross that line because I thought I was fooling everyone. Hiding liquor bottles in the house, having parties, I'm having a good time, while I was killing myself slowly. I was poisoning myself slowly. I was committing suicide because I was so scared, so fearful of taking my own life. But something opened up, and that was my heart, my spirit, to understand who I was, who I am now, and how I could flourish to a better person. But first, I had to take care of myself. And I will continue doing the same thing. People might say, this guy, you know something? All he does is take care of himself. All he does is worry about himself. You're damn right. They say programs are going to therapy and everything. You got to be kind to everybody. But you also have to set boundaries. You got to find that balance. I found a balance that works for me. And I also learned to put a cotton in my mouth and open up my ears. I don't have to answer all the time. I could walk away. That's a decision I make. I'll smile at you. But in my head, I'm saying, hey, there's no use. I'm not saying anything. I can't say anything to you because you're not going to listen. But you have to try. You have to give it at least one good, honest try. I know fear could kill you because I was killing myself. I wanted to make people happy. I wanted to drink. I wanted to be the big shot. I didn't care about anybody else. I didn't set boundaries. I was all over the place, until I realized that it's okay to say no. No is no, yes is yes, and maybe I'll come back later and I'll talk to you about it. After I pause, set my boundaries, and find out where I'm coming from. Why is it making me uncomfortable? Why speaking to someone is making me uncomfortable? Is it because I'm scared of you? No. I'm not scared, but I was scared of living. I was really scared of living. I didn't know what to do. I mean, when I started drinking, I think the first thing I was addicted to was cookies. Then it was going to amusement parks. And I threw a tantrum when it was time to go. I wanted more, I wanted more, I wanted more. Then I kept going with liquor, with drugs, food. I weighed 415 pounds. Relationships. I got addicted to relationships. I got addicted to, you name it. I could get addicted to. Gambling. It was a period in my time that I just kept chasing that mighty dollar. But I wasn't taking care of business. I was not taking care of myself. I was always running away from me. I wasn't running away from anybody else, and it took me a long time to figure that out. I was running away from me, my feelings. I don't want anybody to find me out. So I decided, hey, I'm just going to take off. I'll live another life someplace else. This time is a decision I made. Yeah, I'm going to move to the desert in Texas. People say, why are you doing it? There's nobody out there. You're living in the desert. Yeah, I've been planning this for a long time. I've thought out, I've researched, I've talked to people, but this is what my heart is calling me. And yes, I am fearful that I'm doing this by myself. I'm going to build my own house with my two hands. That's the reason why I've been taking steps, and I have my van, Maria. I have everything I need in my van until I build my house, until I start building and making myself comfortable. But it doesn't stop me. Now, I don't know if I would start drinking if I said, oh no, I guess everybody's right. I'm not going to do it. And then regret later on that I should have at least tried, because I could always come back. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the best that I can with what I have. And it's not that I'm isolating myself. It's not that I'm running away from anything. It's just that I've gotten older. Uh, I don't have to impress anybody. The first thing comes out of some people's mouth is, oh, he's the old guy. He can say anything he wants and he's going to get away with it. I should have been like that from the beginning, from the get-go. But no, look, I'm 64 years old. I feel young. And before I collapse and not live my life to the fullest, it's a waste of time. And it's not to build a big house. I want to build maybe a one bedroom with a kitchen, maybe the most 2 bedrooms. So if somebody wants to stay over, they could stay over. Kitchen, my bathroom, my necessities. I downsized so much. When I started this journey, I lost my house behind alcohol. I lost everything. I lost my job. I lost everything. And slowly, it's been a blessing for me to lose all these things, because then I started learning to appreciate what I had. So a big house that's wasting space, I'm not moving anybody else in here. I'm happy with myself. I could do what I want. I could do my artwork that I do. I could be creative building my house with my own hands, be proud of what I did. I could have my dog or the animals. I want to be self-sufficient. I want to live off-grid. I already have plants. I've been buying for a couple of years, things that I need. Solar energy. I've got to get a container for water because I'm going to be living off in the desert. And the desert has a monsoon season that you get all your water that you're going to live for in a year for, I think, a family of 3. It's me. It's just myself. I'm going to get my land prepared so I can grow my stuff, have my animals, have my chickens so I can provide for myself. I'm tired of living the way I'm struggling for one day after another. That's been my goal. So I'm going to live it. I'm going to try it. I'm going to give it the best shot I can. I'll keep you guys posted. I'll start hopefully in June. I'm in the process of getting some land. It's not a little bit of land. I want to get large acreage. So I could plan. I could have my own little place that I don't get bothered. I'm setting my boundaries, but I'm setting my boundaries big. People come over, that's fine. I'm still going to be myself. But in sobriety, you know that you need help. You know that you're scared of taking that first move. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you're going to go through withdrawal with addiction. But you have to give it a good try. Not half-assed try, a good try. You got to work at it. You got to continue working at it until it becomes a part of you. Like alcohol drinking became a part of you. Like taking drugs is a part of you. You have to try. You have to learn how to pause. You have to know your triggers. What gets you off? What gets me pissed off? As soon as I do it, it's either a reflection of myself that I see somebody else or craving. My craving has diminished to 0. I don't even think about the alcohol unless I'm talking about it. I'm trying to help people. By helping someone else, by spreading the word of my journey, it helps me. That's my self-help. I try to eat healthy. Yeah, I smoke a cigar every once in a while. I can't do everything. I'm not perfect. Neither are you. You're going to make mistakes. I make mistakes. But I correct them to go back on the path. I could keep talking about fear and courage. If you need help and it's a mental issue, see a therapist, see a professional doctor. These Instagram postings, YouTube postings on sobriety, that helps me. I might not agree with everything, but that works for them. It's working for them. And I'm not knocking it. There's not only one way to get sober. My way that I got sober, I used the fellowship. That works for me. And I'm happy. I got a new group of friends that I could talk to. At first, when I walked into the rooms, I started saying, what are these fucking people talking about? What do they know? But we all took the same, or I should say, we took a road to get to the same place. Your story might be worse than my story. My story could be worse than your story. It doesn't matter about the story. It's how you got to the point that you're at now. You got to stop the madness. Try to do the best for yourself. You'll thank me later. You might not thank me now. And who the hell is he to tell me what to do? I'm not telling you. What you decide to do is your business. I'm just sharing what I did, what helped me out, what might help you out. With that, guys, stay strong and sober. Do it one day at a time. You don't have to do everything all in one shot. Take baby steps. Subscribe, like, share, hit that notification button, and I see you next time. Thanks for listening.